Great. So I'll just share with you the schedule for today. First of all, I'll just say thank you everyone for joining us. I'm very glad we had the time to do it. Hope everyone is doing well. Great to see you. I'll just quickly go over the schedule for today so you know what will happen, but we'll start obviously with some opening remarks and greetings from the ambassadors, President of Nepal Chamber of Commerce, and from our dear friends, Aviv and Anat. Thank you for joining us as well. After that, we'll have some remarks from both Amir Shani, the Vice President and Head of International Committee of FICC, and our Vice President from Nepal Chamber of Commerce. And then we'll get to the signing, presenting the signed MOU. We'll take some pictures, and I'm also recording the meeting, so we'll be able to share it on our YouTube channel, Facebook. Feel free also to tag us. And I think we can start off with our Ambassador of Nepal in Israel, Dr. Anjan. We'll start with you.
You're muted.
I was muted. Namaste, Salom, Boker Tov. Mr. Rajesh Kaji Shrestha, President of the Nepal Chamber of Commerce, Vice Presidents of Nepal and Israel, and all dear colleagues who are with us today. Today is the happiest moment for all of us. One of my dreams today becoming accomplished, and I'm very much delighted for giving me this opportunity to speak few words at this gathering. I'm very happy today. So we are very keen to see MOU between Nepal Chamber of Commerce and Federation of Israeli Chambers of Commerce. And now today we are having it within few minutes. I have still a fresh memory of our meeting with Vice President Amir Shani, if he recall it. When we met, we talked a long time, and we talked about MOU, exchange of business delegations. It was before Corona. It was almost 1 year before we met together, and we talked about imports, exports, and to expand the economic relations. It was very lively talk and very nice talk at that time. And I explained him about Nepal Chamber. Nepal Chamber was established in 1951, which is the first Chamber of Commerce in Nepal. Nepal is the oldest and very senior-most chamber in Nepal. So it was established around 70 years ago. So we can see that it was only 2 years junior than Israel. Israel is 72 years. We already accomplished it, but in Nepal Chamber, 70 years, it means that only younger than 2 years from Israel. And I'm very happy that we became able to bring you close together. It is really necessary that the two chambers must have direct connections between chambers, which is very significant to enhance economic relations. And thank you, Anat, for joining us today. She is a chairperson of Nepal Israel Chamber of Commerce, and I'm very thankful for her that she established Israel Nepal Chamber of Commerce, and they already did MOU between Nepal Israel Chamber of Commerce and Israel Nepal Chamber of Commerce. They were already connected. They already talked between them, so perhaps they have so many other outcomes. What they did, we have to listen with her views also. And today, no one can stand without networking, connections, friendship, fraternity relations, dialogue, conversations, talks are the significant tools to promote any business. And of course, you know that government of Israel has look east policy. So at this point, Nepal cannot be ignored. Nepal will be in the line, and we expect a lot from you also. So there are a lot of potentialities to invest in diverse sectors and import Nepali organic products from Nepal, where you can find only in Nepal, nowhere else in the world. So you have to go to Nepal to seek such product. For example, Israel imports Nepali tea. I would like to inform you here. Israel imports Nepali tea from France. Why? When I visited one store in Tel Aviv, it is a French shop. Its name Palace des Dis. Maybe I pronounce it wrong. I couldn't know how to pronounce it. This is a big question mark I would like to raise here. They sold out so much Nepali tea from their store, and they brought there from France of Nepali tea. They are selling their Nepali tea, buying from France, and France bought it from Nepal. So it seems that in Israel, there are so much potential market for Nepali tea and coffee. The one sales, when I went there, that sales woman, she was trying to give me some Nepali tea as a gift. And when she opened that carton, 2-3 cartons were empty. It seems that Israeli people go there and they bought those Nepali tea and it became empty. So I was very happy when I see that. So there are a lot of scope there. So I would like to urge Israeli importers to bring niche product and organic product from Nepal, which your Israeli businessman, Israeli importers, Israeli investors will be benefited, as well as they export to Nepal. So side by side to do import is very important, as we imported goods from India and China. So if there is good products, quality products in Nepal, why not from Nepal? So I would like to urge you to bring some products from Nepal to Israel. And we wish you all to expand, accelerate your business and become very, very successful. And at last, I would like to wish your good health. And after this COVID, we expect your visit from both sides, each other countries. With this word, I would like to conclude here. Thank you once again. And also, Happy New Year, even it's late. Happy New Year. Toda rabba, dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I really hope we could all exchange delegation very soon now with the vaccine. I hope we could see it very soon. And now I would like to welcome our ambassador at Nepal, Mr. Hanan Goder. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Shalom, shalom to you, namaste. It's so lovely to meet everybody from Kathmandu, from Nepal. You know, there is a song in Hebrew that says, Nepal rechoka, far, far away Nepal, but really thanks Ambassador Shakya, Nepal is much, much closer these days. And I think the distance is not only geographical, it is also a difference in concept. And this is something that is changing, and it is changing every year. Now, I know this, you are dealing mainly on issues of commerce, of trade, of development, of investments, and other aspects and elements of economy. I think that today, Nepal is an amazing market for Israelis, for importing of goods, for trade in products, in Israeli products, and for other ingredients of commerce that is suitable for both countries. And what happened now? Nepal is in the middle of a period of transition. And this is a period that is, you can feel it by day and by year. The changes are very dramatic in the Nepali society, but for our discussion, in the Nepali economy. The companies that are going to be here, the first ones that will enter, will have the best chances to lead the trade, the commerce later. So the question, which are going to be the first companies, the first business that is going to start here? Nepal has gone through dramatic changes, and I will mention a few of them. If we ignore the corona, which is affecting everybody, for the last decade, Nepal had an average of 6% growth annually. And it is going a year after a year for 10 years. And it is expected that this growth is going to continue. This is one aspect which is very, very important. Nepal in itself looks at itself as a small country. It is not a small country. It is a country, it is a market of 30 million people that are waiting for products and for things that are produced in Israel, and produces products that are amazing for Israel. And if you want to bypass the Indian monopoly, this is the best time to open your representation here in Nepal. I will give you, with your permission, another aspect of change. For years, Nepal had problems of supplying electricity to the local market. There were shortages. There were blackouts or load shedding, as it was called here in Kathmandu. Half a day. These load shedding, these shortages are finished now. You have a country that supplies for itself 24 hours a day electricity. And I believe that in a year, next year, Nepal is going to begin to export electricity to the neighboring countries, probably and mainly to India, but maybe to other countries as well. So these changes, you know, a country that has difficulties to produce electricity and now is going to export electricity, is a country that is in the situation of developing its industry, its trade, its banking system, high-tech, other elements of trade that can exist between the countries. And this is a grand opening for those who will be the first one to enter here. So as I said earlier a few times, I'm very optimistic, and I'm sure that things are going to develop even further in the coming years. Thank you, Dhanyabad.
Thank you very much, Hanan. Toda rabba. And now I would like to welcome the president of Nepal Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Rajesh Kaji. I hope I pronounced it correctly.
So I don't have a words how I can start. First of all, I would like to address Excellency Anjan Sake, Nepalese Ambassador to Israel. His Excellency Ambassador of Israel to Nepal, Hanan Gorer, but we couldn't have a chance to meet him. And the Vice President of the Federation of Israel Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Amir Shani, and Ms. Anant Barstani, which is Chairperson of Israel Nepal Chamber of Commerce, and my senior Vice President, and my Women Chamber President, Youth Chamber, and all my colleagues with the distinguished office bearer of the Israel Chamber of Commerce and the participation in this Zoom meeting. It gives me a great pleasure to establish relationship between Federation of Israel Chamber of Commerce and Nepal Chamber of Commerce by means of memorandum of understanding. We were waiting this moment from the long time, and after our Excellency Anjan Sake was deputed to as Israel as ambassador, from the beginning we've been talking how we can have a relation with the Israel for the economic tie-up, and same time we thought the one is to have a signing MOU between two countries with the chambers, and that will get, and even the previous about, I can say, 3 Excellency Ambassador we have been requesting to sign a MOU, but I thanks the Anjan Sake, which have made this success of his all the effort. So I really thanks Excellency Anjan Sakhe. So as Dr. Anjan Sakhe have already mentioned, Excellency have mentioned, Nepal Chamber is the oldest Chamber of Commerce, and we are running 70 years. But thank you, Israel Federation is 72. We are still 2 years childhood from the Israel Chamber of Commerce. And as today we are proud, we have already signed with the different Chamber of Commerce around 70. So we'll add one. Definitely now we have a 71 International Chamber of Commerce, which Chamber have signed a MOU. And we have a 29 honorary trade representative in the different countries. We've been to find one who will be perfect for the Nepal as an honorary, who can exchange all our information and trade of our chamber and Israel. So it is. I think this is a very this year is a very good time. So this is our 60 years diplomatic 60 years diplomatic anniversary also, which we have started our diplomatic relation in 1960. So in this 60 years, definitely we are not having only MOU signing, and this is a good opportunity that we can say proudly in the 60 years diplomatic relation we have signed MOU. And besides MOU, we want to have a more what we can focus on the economic bilateral trade between activities in this 60 years anniversary also. As Israel have developed highly I always talk about the IT sector, agriculture, and the health, which we can transfer all this thing to Nepal, and we can exchange our definitely very well said by the both of ambassadors before. So I very agreed about what they have spoken. So only 2-3 things I have to add, because our Dr. Anjan Sakhe have very much clearly mentioned about our Nepal and Israel trade and her experience. So we are very much proud that our foreign employment in Israel. So they have done many, mostly youth worker and female workers, which they have done very good activities there, and they have learned more things, and they have shared here. Like whenever we talk about Israel, we always remember for agriculture. Definitely, Nepal is waiting for the new technology know-how, and we thanks whoever gone for the as a foreign labor in Israel. So after they came back, and they have worked in their idea and knowledge in Nepali agriculture, so which has developed Nepali agriculture, and which had boosted up our agriculture in the economic field also. I thanks all the Israel government for giving opportunity to the agriculture scholarship and agriculture training. So still, so whenever we have a line and whenever we have thinking about agriculture, we always think about Israel. Sometimes we say proudly, Dr. Anjan Sakhe, so Excellency, have trying to bring more agriculture. We give that example, and we were meeting with here, I think about 5 years back, with the agriculture minister was here in Nepal from Israel. So that time also in chamber, we had a very good discussion how we can develop about agriculture. So Nepal, as a being agriculture country, being with the all type of climate, and just the Excellency Ambassador to Israel to Nepal have very much truly said that. I want to add what he has said. As a Nepal, so we would like to welcome with the agriculture technology, with the herbal and other IT, to invest in Nepal, because here mentioned very true. Before there was a load shedding without light about 18 hours. Now we have 24 hours we have electricity, and we say proudly we have a very experienced labor, which you have an experience of Nepali labor in your country. Now it is the right time that your know-how technology, instead of sending labor to the Israel, why not bring all the IT and project and investment in Nepal, because experienced labor are here, and even the load shedding, the main cost of the labor and the electricity which we need for the industry is very much competitive in Nepal. So as why we also focus to invest in Nepal also. Nepal being least developed country, it is not proud to say that, but still there are many opportunity. And suppose you invest in Nepal, so we have a facility and give some facility from the subsidized to when we export to USA or Europe, so we don't have to pay any tax. We have a GSP facility in even we have a sign with the government to government about 8,030 items in China where made in Nepal there is no duty, and India we have a duty-free access. So these are the opportunity why we request, and we proudly say there are many opportunity to sign to come for joint venture in Nepal and export all these. Being a least developed country, we have a very good opportunity. Definitely, Dr. Anjan Saket told about the trade. Yeah, so we have been, before we have always getting many publication of Israel from, and we have seen many items which was product in Nepal, but we couldn't bring that product and in the market and say that in the market, oh, these are the Israeli product. Definitely there are few items which is not, we almost everybody doesn't know that is Israel or that. So now after the signing today, we can share each other only, not because as a Nepal being an import-based country, there are many Israel project we can share in the market. And because of the COVID, we couldn't come to Israel because Dr. Anjan Saki, our excellency, was very much interest to invite there and have an interaction with all the business committee for not only for traveling and have an exchange with all the business committee to see the Israeli product and look for the Nepal import. Definitely we, as excellency said very well that about tea and herbal items, agriculture item, which we can export, and we are exporting to the world. Now coffee is very good. And last time we were very much confused about the rock carpet also with the excellency. And definitely Nepal is the one of the top export of the woolen carpet in the world. So which we are the highest exporter in German, in the Europe. They are the making and supply to the Arabic country. Maybe as tea is coming from the Europe country, maybe carpet maybe also coming like that. Why not we do direct export from here to Israel for the tea or coffee and many other things, as a rug or pashmina and many other items, handicraft item also. I think we need to extend, because we were waiting if we could have any opportunity in your trade fair or any international fair, we could also participate as our exhibitor, and we can see both way. As a buyer also we could participate, and we can participate as our products there also. So let's hope 2021, after the vaccine come, we can have all exchange each other. And definitely, as everybody knows that about tourism, so because we see that Israeli tourists, we see many where we call Nepal, Tamil is the one of hub of the tourism. In the season time, we see many Israel, and so we're getting more support. The hotelier and the travel agency, they say, oh, we have a Israel tourist in the Tamil. So we are looking same thing on future, and the both excellency, Nepal and Israel. So on their tenure, to more appreciate with us and to be a success, I think we need to have a direct flight from the Israel to Nepal, which we are expecting. So on their tenure, and we can say proudly, one more proud thing that we can say proudly on their tenure, it have been happened. So not taking more time. So today we've been, I personally, as I said, I have already talked with from the Israel to Nepal, more than 3 to 4 excellency, how we can have a close relation, and that is the one where we can have a MOU signing with the 2 chambers, so which have been today fulfilled. Now it is not only signing each other and to add one MOU, but how we can go ahead and we should continue. Now we have a rights with the Federation of Israel Chamber of Commerce, so we will definitely sending all the requests and information how we can develop our economic and trade between 2 countries. So thank you very much once again to all with our Excellency Anjan Sake and the Israel Embassy to Nepal and all the Federation Vice President and the Israel Nepal Chamber of Commerce and all the participants. So today, after 2021, so the first MOU signing, and this begin that definitely Chamber and Israel will develop a new era with the milestone with the signing MOU. So thank you very much for this all movement and this all the today's program done by whoever. So I thanks all, and I am very much happy and I am very much glad to have this Zoom meeting with the signing MOU with the 2 countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're very excited as well, as you can see. And I'm happy to welcome Raviv Byron, President of Israel and Nepal Chamber of Commerce.
Very good afternoon to everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank, to start, regards to Her Excellency, Dr. Anjan Shakia, His Excellency, Mr. Hanan Goder, Mr. Rajesh Kaji Shrestha, and of course to Mr. Amir Shani and Rajendra Malla, and to special thanks to Shai and to Zev for inviting us, and we're very, very happy to be a part of this activity. And of course to my colleague, Anat Bernstein, who we work together equally on the Israel-Nepal Chamber of Commerce. I'm very pleased to be here, very happy to be here. Nepal has got a very, very strong and soft spot in my heart. I traveled the first time to Nepal in 1976, which means you can probably guess a little bit my age. But I went as a young Israeli with a backpack, trekking in the Annapurna range, something which a lot of Israelis do today, but I think I was one of the early participants in this activity. Since then, I've been to Nepal, I think 7 times, which is nowhere near enough, of which 2 have been on tourism because of my love for the country. Every opportunity I would go there, and 5 times in an attempt to do business, which unfortunately until now has not been terribly successful because of all the difficulties that have been happening. I'm very optimistic now, and I'm very excited by the talks that I've heard from the ambassadors and from Mr. Rajesh. I think there is a lot of opportunity. I've always believed in the opportunity in Nepal. I think the 2 areas that we have to emphasize is certainly, as you mentioned, agriculture. I think healthcare is a very, very important activity, but there are many, many other activities that can be done, and not only export from Israel to Nepal, but certainly import from Nepal to Israel. As far as we're concerned, there are a lot of things that can be offered from Nepal, and I think we have to have a very important role to play to develop this activity and to develop the connections and give people a comfort that it is possible to work with Nepal. And I think today we are in a focal point now and in a turning point where we can develop this activity to a lot of success. So again, thank you very, very much, everybody. We are very excited to be here, and we look forward to a lot of activity in the future. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Aviv. Toda rabba. Again, for joining us and for your kind words. We look forward as well for more activities together. And now I'm happy to welcome Anat, Miss Anat Bernstein, the chairperson of Israel and Nepal Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Shai. Hello, everyone. I will be brief because we are here to sign the MOU between the Nepal Chambers and the FIC, the Federation of Israeli Chambers of Commerce. I think that this Corona period put everything to, not everything, but a lot of things to a stop. And what we're doing today and the MOU we have signed with the Nepal-Israel Chamber of Commerce is actually that we are creating platforms that will enable trade once this COVID stops. 2 weeks back, we did awareness seminar along with an organization called SID to promote business in Nepal. And I hope that in the next couple of months, we will be, hopefully, as we say here, inshallah, be back to normal. Israel will be vaccinated very soon. And as I know Israelis, they will, April, May, everybody will go out. And my mission, as I promised both ambassadors, actually, I promised to Dr. Anjan and I promised to Hanan to take a delegation of Israeli business people to Nepal. And definitely we're going to do it. Hope that Nepal will be willing to accept it. And Rajesh, prepare Israelis will come. Hopefully it will be around June when everybody will be vaccinated and it will be possible to travel. I know that you're using the slogan, once is not enough.
I think we've lost her now.
Yeah, Anat,
Yeah, I was afraid just me. Anat, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's why I'm
keeping twice.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping two systems in parallel. Where did I stuck when I spoke about Hanan, I guess? Are you there?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, I'm saying that when Hanan left to Nepal the second time, he called me and told me that the first time he's been ambassador, I promised to bring a delegation, we didn't. So this time he made sure that I'll keep my promise. And I'm saying it several times to make everyone hold me for this promise. So inshallah, June we'll take a delegation to Nepal. I'd like to thank all of you for arranging it, especially, not that there is no especially here, Zeev and Shai and Amir, Dr. Anjan that represents wonderfully Nepal in Israel. She's here less than 2 years and knows everyone, and everybody talks about Nepal and everyone wants to drink Nepalese tea. And of course, Hanan, that you are a Nepalese for the second time. And my Nepalese friends for joining us today. And I look forward to meeting all of you in person very soon. Thanks for inviting us today.
Thank you very much, Anat. It's a pleasure as always. And finally, I'm excited to invite both representatives from the Israeli side and from the Nepali side to say a few words before we go to the actual signing. So we start off with Mr. Amir Shani, the Vice President of Federation of Israeli Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, Her Excellency Mr. Anja Shakia, Ambassador of Nepal in Israel, His Excellency Mr. Hanan Guder, Ambassador of Israel in Nepal, Mr. Rajendra Malla, Vice President of Nepal Chamber of Commerce. It's a pleasure being here today. I don't know that, as I mentioned in the past, our last meeting with the ambassador, with Mrs. Anja, I mentioned that on the past, I have the pleasure to be as a guest or as a tourism, and I did also the Isuzu Challenge in Nepal. This means I'm starting here, I love Nepal, this means this is starting. But again, I'm coming back. As you know, Israel and Nepal have enjoyed more than 5 decades of friendship and close ties between our peoples. As Israeli oldest and largest business organization, and I'm not going to compete ambassador that you mentioned, 50 years, 70, the Israeli Chamber of Commerce, we celebrate a year ago more than 100 years. That means we are the oldest, real oldest. The FICC has been devoted to the promotion of Nepal-Israel business opportunity, exchange of many years, and is wished to continue working with its partners for the expansion of the bilateral trade between the two countries. I want to take this opportunity to emphasize importance the FICC holds for this trade relation with Nepal. We strongly believe in the potential of the bilateral trade relation between our countries and the safety of both markets in trade, investment, technology, agriculture. The signing this morning of this MOU is demonstrates the FICC's strong support for mutual collaboration between our business community. I look forward to the successful implementation of our MOU and wish you good health, happiness, and success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amir. And lastly, we have Mr. Rajendra Malla, the Vice President of Nepal Chamber of Commerce, to say a few words before we'll go to the signing. He's next to Rajesh, right? I can't quite see it.
Rajesh ji, Rajendra ji, you have to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was not clear. So we sign first or we speak first?
First we speak.
Okay. Namaste, Salam, Excellency Dr. Anjan Sakya, Nepalese Embassy to Israel, His Excellency Hanan Berger, Ambassador from Israel to Nepal, Vice President of Israel Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Amir Shani, Ms. Anant Barsatin, Rich, Chairperson of Nepal-Israel Chamber of Commerce, distinguished guests in webinar, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I feel very pleasure to be going to be signed MOU between Nepal Chamber of Commerce and Israel Chamber of Commerce. So between Nepal and Israel, we have a long history that Nepal was first South Asian country to having diplomatic relationship with Israel, which was already 60 years. So now what we feel is just after the signing, so we have to come in action to promote business relations between two countries, to doing business delegation, exchange each other, and B2B meeting, and see the opportunity of joint venture between two countries, and also promote the tourism. As our chairman also mentioned that we need 1 year connectivity also very soon between Israel and Nepal. Meanwhile, what we feel is, the tourism business between two countries. Nepal is the highest mountain, Everest in the earth, and the same way, the Israel had lowest place of earth, Dead Sea. So this kind of two, countries had a special, valuable places to visit each other, and also we have holy place like Lumbini, Pasupati, and Muktinath, Janakpur Dham, and so on. A lot of the holy places and natural beautiful places. Same way, the Israel also have Jerusalem, holy places, and also a lot of historical place. So what we feel is our trade between two countries in the past figure, we found that Nepal has exported about approximately $76,000 about jute carpet, woolen carpet. Nepal about $48,000 non-alcoholic drinks, electronic machinery, and some animal vaccination. So now what we feel is with these two countries, business volume should be enhanced and do directly, Israel to Nepal. So we have a lot of potential to export from, Nepal, like herbal, vegetable, or organic products. Same way we can learn a lot of technology from Israel. We two chambers keep update regular, regular meetings and exchange delegation, and also as before mentioned our chamber friend that Dr. Mr. David, right? So we would like to welcome here in Nepal to have a lot of business opportunity to research each other. Hydropower, power trade, here a joint venture and export to India or Bangladesh. This kind of business we can do jointly. Same way, also we can do some IT sector. Also can do together, and this also can export to Europe, USA, or bigger market from here. So this we keep in touch and exchange our delegation often. And if any opportunity of business, this Nepal chamber and Israel chamber communicate each other regularly, and we wish coming days successful business between two countries. And thank you for arranging this program, especially Dr. Anjan Sake from Nepal to Israel, and His Excellency Ambassador Israel to Nepal, and Israel Chamber of Commerce, and my colleagues, Chairman, Nepal Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sorry. And I think okay, I think we're good. So yes, I think Mr. Amir Shani and Mr. Rajendra Malla, I think we can move to the last, but most importantly, to the signing. So feel free to sign and then share, just hold your signature for us to see, so I can also take some pictures, if that's okay. I can't do twice.
Okay.
Great, don't move. Thank you very much. I think we can take a picture, all of us, if that's okay. If everyone can turn their camera on. And we can also take a picture. So we'll have. So smile, everyone.
Everybody can turn the camera on. One, two, three. Am I right?
Yes, that's it. I'm done with the pictures.
Okay, great.
Thank you, everyone. I'll share with all of you the pictures and the video, of course, the recording, so you can share it as well in your social media. And thank you for joining us once again. It's a very exciting moment for all of us. And I look forward to keep working with you guys and start collaborating, exchanging business opportunities. Hopefully we'll see some delegations in the next summer. So thank you again for everyone.
Thank you, Shai.
Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shai. Thank you, Zev.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Majal to.
Your Excellency. Lito. Bye-bye. Thank you.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.